Hello, is that social services? Yeah, just want to report. Just want to report just some concern I've got about some people. Yeah, people are actually subscribing to my YouTube channel. I know. I don't know. Yeah, I've told them. Well, they should do what you do, right? Yeah, with the sound down. I know. What can I say? But look, I just think if you need to just look into it and see what you can do to help them out. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is, I think we're at the end of this joke. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye. Beep. Hello. You give me a chance to suck my belly in then. You just snuck up on me. Let me do that again. Suck my belly in. Hello. Oh. Hello. Welcome to the flick through video. Friday. Funny, aren't I? Cassettes double as mobile phones. Right, let's get on with it. Lots of stuff in. This is all stuff everything got to. So there's lots of stuff, lots of rubbish. I've got some really interesting stuff and it'll be going out over the next couple of weeks and I'll show you what I've got. You alright? Yeah, somebody else. I think I've had a few more. You get notifications when you get subscribers. Like, some people have left, which is great. Well done to you people. But more people have subscribed. Seriously, honestly, it's rubbish. And again, if you've been watching these videos, you know that it's like, why doesn't he just flick through the video like in a proper record shop and they show us like really cool records? And what's he talking about? What's wrong with him? Why is he? So it's my middle-aged not breakdown. What is it? Midlife crisis in action. I'm just doing this to therapize and get it off my chest. Right, let's have a RIP. The only one I saw this week was Roger Whittaker. So there's an RIP for Rog. How's your week's been? How's your week been? Mine's been full of proper kind of middle-aged man DIY. After fixing my vice up, got a thing for that now. I'm looking on eBay for like metalworking tools that I can just do up for no other reason than I'm a boring middle-aged man and I've got a shed. Have shed will travel. Have shed will do stuff in shed. So I fixed a leaky gutter, which was really annoying because it was dripping, and every time it would rain, it would drip. And I wasn't that bothered about it because as it was dripping, I'd be like, and I'd be like, I'd be drumming to it. But I think that was even more annoying for the family, so that had to get fixed. So that was like properly up a ladder with my wife foot in the ladder. So I'll leave that to your imagination of how well that went. We fixed it. But there was a lot of, what are you doing if you got your foot on that? What are you doing? Just don't get up there, it's too high. Don't call your dad. I'm not calling me dad and asking me dad to get up the ladder, whereas I wouldn't. Anyway, did that, did some tiling. Not very well, put too much grout in. You've probably had the same problem yourself. It's taken a while to dry. So what I should have done was phone my dad before, who then told me afterwards, well, you should only do it up to 5 mil, let it dry in and do it again. I didn't do that. I just lobbed it on. Got the air dryer. Anyway. Oh. Right. Right, so, okay, we got some good records. Should we start with, let's do this, because the reason for getting me Vice all fixed up was so like, if you've been watching the channel, you'll know about this channel video. Who do I think I am? It's not Blue Peter. I've been trying to get the warp out of this record. So basically what I've done is I've put lots of heavy things on top of it, right? And it hasn't worked. So I'm just thinking how youthful my engineering qualifications are, and I didn't put any of that to work. Clearly it's got to have heat, right, if I've got a fighting chance of getting this out. And I think I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to just put it into 2 bits of glass and then put it in the oven and do that. Actually, I did, as I was fixing my vise up, editing in the garage, and then I dropped my vise on it. And I have put a dent in it, but I don't know where. Is that it? Yeah. So if you come in the shop and see a framed, because I sell framed, where? There. Framed album covers of albums I can't sell. I frame them and put them up. So if you see Aerosmith Toys in the Attic, you know I've given up. Okay, so that's that. Oh, you know what? I was looking on the internet, and because you know that's what middle-aged men do, and it just says YouTube, UFO conspiracies and how to get rust off of vice. God, my search history is middle-aged man. How to get rust off of ice, and is Bigfoot real, and you know, stuff like that. And I came across something called cymatics. I look up a lot of music stuff, and it's mostly about drums or about interesting musical things. And this thing came up called cymatics. Have you heard of that? Cymatics apparently is I didn't remember the definition, but it's about the effect of sound on material. So people get like a bit of steel and they put a bit of sand on it, or a flat bit of mild steel or whatever, sheet metal, and they'll bang it, and then the sand will all create geometric shapes, which is all very beautiful. And it's about what's the effect does music have on your body, and it makes you think about the effect that music does have on you as a biological entity. It's getting a bit heavier now, bear with me. There's no point to this, I'm just saying that's how you feel, and then I and that's what kind of drives you towards music, doesn't it? Because of the way, and it's obvious, the way it makes you feel, but you know, it does make you either feel like annoyed, like the sad stuff you put on, and you just, I was having a conversation about Steely Dan yesterday, and I like Steely Dan, I've had this before, but it can be a bit much, right? And you can listen to it and go, that's amazing, appreciate it, but then that kind of, it just get a bit much, whereas some bands don't. Like, I was listening to Fugazi on the way in today, and every time I put that on, it's just sensational for me. Public Enemy. I put Cypress Hill on yesterday. Somebody came into the shop, and I bought some records off them, and they had a load of old cassettes, and then there was a pre-recorded, because it was all their own cassettes, and then there was a Cypress Hill. I was like, oh, I thought, I'll have that. And I opened it up, and it wasn't. The cassette had gone. But, so it made me put Cypress Hill on, and I was like, oh God, how good is Cypress Hill? You know, that gave me that. Anyway, there's nothing more than that. It's just when you're having that funny feeling when you're listening to, you know, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, Islands in the Stream. That's cymatics, okay? Isn't that a Dean Martin song? That's cymatics. Okay, let's get on with it. Hello, let's just start at 8 minutes. Right, what have we got? Just singing Fugazi, you know. This is a new copy. Okay, if you don't know anything about this band, I humbly suggest you watch a YouTube documentary called a band called Death, okay? Top and bottom of it is late 60s, early 70s, bunch of brothers, black guys from Detroit, Michigan. And if you think about what the music was coming out of Detroit, Michigan, Detroit, at the time, it wasn't hardcore punk stuff, which is what these guys were effectively starting to do, right? Based on rock, based on their influence of kind of hard rock bands like The Who. I don't know what I'm doing now, but The Who. But you've got to listen to this. And then go and follow the story, because their music was forgotten, and then it got dug up again and re-released, and then that had the effect that had on the people who were to do with this band. It's a journey, man. It's a journey. It's great. Right, so Death. So this is obviously, they didn't put out an album at the time, so that's a new copy. What else? It's very awkward, this at the moment. I'm going to leave my interlude for Trumpets there, but pretty sorry about that. Rest of Blondie. This is really very awkward. I've not thought this through at all. Procolarum. And I realise that when I turn away from the microphone, you probably can't hear me, which is a good thing. 8 minutes, so I'll try and look at the microphone. Right, bit of jazz. Suck the belly in. Bit of jazz. Dave Brubeck. I had to put the hoodie on, and it really was very snug. it took about 24 hours to break back in again. You know what I mean? Get the old Hook's law of elasticity working again. Anyway, Dave Brubeck. Dave Brubeck. This is meant to be all about the records, isn't it? All you're saying is my big fat. Should I go around the other way and do it that way? I'm going to try this. Bear with me. This might work. It's not going to, is it? That's for the collectibles. Dave Brubeck. You probably can't hear me now, can you? Oh, don't worry, my mum will tell me. What's your video? And I didn't know what that meant. And you want to brush your hair? Oh, brush your hair. Stop sniffing something. Dave Brubeck, take 5. This production quality is getting. I told you it's going to get worse. What's this? There's lots of Dave Brubeck. If you don't want to do this, just go and look up the Band Called Death documentary, Dave Brubeck. There's other jazz stuff. We just got to the Dave Brubeck stuff. We put out some cool stuff recently. This, honestly, look, it's not great. There is some good stuff coming up. Seal. It's not the Seal's rubbish. It's just, you know, it's not what you get from proper record shops, is it? They wouldn't be like flashing it over their video. They'd be showing you really cool stuff. Michael Jackson's Greatest Hits. Tanita Tikaram, remember that? Oh, that should be in collectibles, I think. I've classically just not bothered looking at this. Trans Am. Got this off Tom. Tom can put a comment on what it is, I can't remember. US 2007 Prog Synth. Right. Near mint. Madness. These are all pretty standard stuff. 12 inches, more 12 inches. Frankie. There's lots of cool stuff in the shop, honestly. Come down. Just an example of the sort of stuff we've got. Bit of soul. Highly on Kylie. Don't know what that means. Faces. Where's the receipt in that? Probably my receipt from when I bought it. Faces. Not as good as a wink. Doesn't have the poster. There was a poster with this, wasn't there? This is the most common Faces album that you see about. First one is the rarest one. Also, not one of the best ones. There's only 4 of them really, isn't there, if you think about it. Simply Red. I know. Hold your excitement. You're watching it. You're watching the video. Turn it off. Band Called Death, or go and watch it's a great video of Fugazi when they played in that prison. Go and watch Fugazi. I'm going to DC, aren't I, on a record hunt soon, and I'm wondering whether to go to you know, the house. I don't think I will, because they ask you not to, and I don't really want to be an idiot. Plus, I don't know that much about it, so there's probably all these people that and I'd be filming it, and Tom would go, "Oh, that's so and so out of such and such," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's a nice guy, yeah." I wouldn't know half the people. I've got more Style Council, still getting through all that. Or maybe I will. Maybe I'll just take my Discord box set and pretend I'm really knowledgeable. Loads of stylies. Stylies, lads. God, boss got the stylies. Just sold my the Laws first out, but the only album online to some dude in the States, and I just wrote my message going on about Cosmic Scouses and how Scally's ruled. He hasn't replied. That's the sort of service you get when you buy a record from me online. Bit of Blondie. Thank you for Michael for bringing that in. And another one of Tom's. Can we put that in the collectibles? Why not? I'll come back around this side for the collectibles. All right, look, that's just an example. We've got loads of stuff. There's a bit more interesting stuff in the collectibles, but we've got absolutely tons. I mean, they've been sat there for ages. I've got loads in a box over there. I've got more 7s, and I've got a bunch, some sat there. Am I doing this very well? Can you see what I'm pointing at? Oh, yeah. And then, ooh, got a storeroom full of stuff still. Yeah, so, what is it? What's this for then? Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. A guy came in and bought a load of dance records and took them and came back and went, oh, look, this was in my bag. I've brought it back for you. In the Mood for Trumpets by James Last. So what I thought, I'm going to take this to DC with me and get a photo of it somewhere important, maybe outside one of the Smithsonian's, or should I go and get a photo of this at the gate at the White House? And then if you're a customer and you want to take this, let's see how far around the world In the Mood for Trumpets can get. You know, the way you used to do like whatever, people would take photos of silly things. I think, you know, having James Last at the Taj Mahal In the Mood for Trumpets, and then just being sent around the world, and then eventually maybe finding its way, put a sticker on the back of it or something. I don't know, something local. You know what I mean? And then we'll see how far around the world it gets. No, so basically I'll do it and then no one else will. So maybe I'll leave it with my mate in DC, and then he can take it somewhere and then he can pass it on to somebody else. But if you're going somewhere and you want me to post it to you after I've been to DC, tell me and I'll do that, and we'll get the ball rolling with that, and that might be a bit of fun, or people will forget about it and it'll be forgotten. Right, that seems pretty exciting in my head, but now I've said it, no one will do it. No one will. Oh! God, I can't stop singing, Fugazi. Just waiting for the computer to fire up. That's another thing that only sort of, you know, middle-aged people do, is it? Just wait for the computer to start up. Just turn it on. Well, yeah, but it's 2008 computer. Anyway, that is a week on Saturday. And it's going to be over there. Free. Come to the gig. Come on, watch Samuel play. Got some more cool gigs coming as well. So there's that. Let's just go with... I'm firing through it, aren't I? I did insist that I would get through the last video a lot quicker, and then didn't. My video. It's my video. Okay. I'm going through records, but I'm thinking about tiling. Will my grout dry? That's Will My Grout Dry, which is obviously a great record. Let's go through collectibles. Hello, welcome to the collectibles. So we've got some cool stuff. It's not all this. This is stuff I haven't priced up, but all this is pretty collectible. So what I'll probably do is show you the ones I've kind of got to, and then I'll show you a few examples. Oh, there's a pussycat there in the flat. Look, can you see? Tiddles. Let's get on with it. Smokey. I've not thought this through. If I was doing a course on just-in-time production, I would be an fail. It's not efficient. Fad Gadget. I don't know. I'm the head of the band, but I thought there was some... why am I getting this mixed up with Tad? Just because there's an AD in it? Maybe. I thought it was like indie grunge stuff, but it ain't. Right, look. This is being reissued, right? This is an original. So save your reissue money and just come and buy the original before I take it home. That's always a risk. So got that one. And then we've got original copy of Nevermind. There's more of these, but these are just going up in price, aren't they? Some really cool stuff here. So thank you. I got this stuff from Tom, who has got a great record collection, and I'm just thinning some of it out. So let's start with this. What have we got? We have got Rudimentary Peni and Farce single, original single by Crass. And we were playing it in the shop yesterday, and it sounds great. In the poster sleeve, single. I'd put one side as near mint, and one side is very good plus, just a few hairlines on it. Sounds amazing. So that'll go online. Pay no more than 80p for this record. Sorry lads, it's not 1982 anymore. So it'll be more than that. Again, it's hard to get stuff like this in, unless you're going hunting for it, which I don't really do. I wait for stuff to come into the shop. That's part of the joy of it. Sometimes I'll go out and find some cool things, but I generally wait for stuff to come into the shop. That's the exciting part for me. Other record shops specialise in going out and getting cool stuff, don't they? And they're great record shops. Anyway, look. Original 10-inch blue vinyl of this. It's got a little bit of a crackle at the beginning. There's no skips on it, but that's pretty cool. And again, sounded, we put it on and we were both commenting about how it sounded much more kind of raw. The Rollins vocals sounded, oh no, Keith Morris vocals. What am I talking about? That's probably why. I thought it was Rollins. Okay, there we go. Anyway, vocals are pretty raw on that. Okay, what we got next? Oh yeah, look at this. I put a post out about this. So it's pretty cool, but maybe not get as excited as you were going to get, because obviously Big Star, if you don't know what this is, Big Star #1 record is a well sought out record. There's my colleague coming in. Has a little place. She runs a Reiki service down there. You can probably hear her talking. So anyway, look, it's not this, it's this, which is a double album. Radio City, Big Star, and Big Star #1 record. This is put out, I think, in '78, double. So it's both of them. And interestingly, it is on stacks. Now the sleeve is good plus. I mean, it's had a bit of action. It's good. You can see it's not torn, but it's definitely had some action. So some people even may grade that fair. I'd say good because there's no tears on it. The records are very good plus. Some sides are near mint, but I think you've got to grade it very good plus. But the label's quite interesting. It's a #1 record. So UK release 1978. So, you know, well, it's not going to be cheap. I have to work out how much to price it. I think it's going to be like, I guess between, I don't know, 75 to 100 quid probably. I'll probably put it somewhere between there. Because, and it's not because of the sleeve. The sleeve is not great, but the records are very, very good plus. And you don't play the sleeve. I've had a few people online asking about like quality of the sleeve. And you send people photos and they get quite particular, which I don't mind. But for like a £20 record, it's like, they are, mate. There's a scratch on there. Does it? Can you hear it on your system? Does it crackle? Every record has something on it. Customer relations. Anyway, look. What else we got? Okay, so this is the withdrawn press of Revolver. So when they pressed it, there was the version of Tomorrow Never Knows, which is the last track on side 2. George Martin didn't like it, so after like the first day or something that I read online yesterday, they pulled it and they replaced it with a different mix, and this has got the original mix on. There's loads for sale. I don't know how many they pressed. If you think about the Apprentices, what, 1966, and it's a Beatles album, so on the first day they must have pressed thousands, possibly tens of thousands of them to get them out. But it's still a well sought after one. I've never seen one before, and I would say that the record is in very good plus condition. There's some hairlines on it, and when you play it, you can hear a difference. There's something about John's vocals at the beginning. It sounds, I don't think they double tracked it at the beginning, and there's a slightly longer, bit more pianos, a bit more present. Anyway, that's your thing. That'll be going out. Right, some other collectibles because I'm running out of time. Some metal Zentrix Ghostbusters. Cool. Nuclear Assault. One for your granny. Get a bit of nuclear assault in. I live with a dude like that. I live with a dude. I can't remember the guy's name, but he got just his hair was exactly like that, and he was probably into metal cowboy, but white cowboy boots he used to have. And I remember he drank 2 bottles of Thunderbird before we went out. So sometimes as a student you drink a bottle of Thunderbird, which is like fortified wine, and you know, blue if you're a bit soft, but red because it was stronger. And you drink a bottle of that, and you wouldn't really have to drink then. You'd have like a pint all night, and you'd be out of it. And he drank 2. And the next thing I remember was him getting his stomach pumped outside the Dog and Trumpet in Coventry because he was like nearly died. I'm not laughing, but when they let him out of hospital the next day, he was not well. He was not well. Anyway, good times, bad times, nuclear assault. Woo! He had a noticeable poodle that just flattened a little bit after he came out of hospital. And we were saying to him, "What are you doing? Don't drink 2 of them." I think he thought he was in Motley Crue or something, and it nearly killed him. Blizzard of Oz. No poster. Original UK press of it. Christian Death. Zero Sex. Nascent Weapon. Nascent Virion. That's easy to say, isn't it? Okay, what's this? Seconds out. Let's go get some... I don't know what that is. Look it up. It's got blue Radleys on it. Dr. Fibes. It's firmly stuck in about 1992, that. Bit more Halloween. Right, that's that. A few other bits that I have got, which I haven't really got into, but I will, is Countdown to Ecstasy, Journey, Escape. Right, so you think Journey albums, you think should be pretty easy to come by, and they're not now, and they're a bit more expensive now, and it's because of that track, innit? Because of that. Greatest Hits in particular is expensive. Seems to remember when I've had that in. So, if you're... I won't go through them. There's some more Beatles stuff there. Sorry, put my head off camera. And I know it affects the sound, so apologies. I've got like 4 copies of... So, Joy Division and a bit of punk stuff. Okay, I've got quite a lot in. So, there is... tell you now, there's official releases. There's unofficial releases, okay? When I say unofficial, not counterfeit. Let's just say they're unofficial. I'll show you an example. But to begin with, I've got 4 copies of Blue Monday, and I think I've got 2 first presses of that and some others. I've got to get through and sort them out, replace them properly. So what have we got? So for example, Joy Division, Demos and Rarities is a good example. And not just all this is Joy Division stuff. So let's just pick out, I'll just pick out randomly some other examples. What's that? Joy Division, Day of the Lords. That is live in Holland, 1980. As an example. Then there is stuff like Joy Division, Misplaced, Rare and Unreleased Rehearsals, 1977, 1980. Coloured vinyl with bonus CD. So the stuff like that, there is picture discs. Okay. There's loads. I won't dig them all out because there's tons of Joy Division stuff, and there's other bands, Rarities, Demos, live stuff, and then albums of. So Dead Boys, you saw, adverts, Wire, I've got the adverts, Saints, Buzzcocks, Clash. Told you Television, didn't I? So there's unknown places. There's a copy of like an unopened reissue of Closer, for example. Stuff like that. Let me show you some other things. Warsaw Demos, what's that? More demos. What's this? Oh yeah, so like Television, things live. So I won't show you them all. Let me just dig out some other interesting things, and then we'll end the video there, and I'll show you some more next week. Clash demos for the first album. Bit quite interesting, and there's stuff like I think I'll show you this because I put this on the Dead Boys Japanese. Young, Loud and Snotty, and there was one other one I wanted to show you. Oh, there's that Saints one. I'll show you that next week. Wire, Buzzcocks, Joy Division. There's some Dead Kennedy stuff aired on. Who's that? Wire. Exciting video, right? Dead Kennedys, demos, 1978. So it's got the California umbrellas on it. Just I don't know about you, but I find it really interesting to hear things like demos and rehearsals and stuff like that, how songs are formed. Not really particularly bothered about live things, but certainly those type of things are interesting. Right, it's 30 minutes. So thank you for watching. Please come to the gig. Have a great week, everybody. Please come down to the shop. Support retail if you can. If you can't, don't. But thanks for watching anyway. All right, bye. Bye.